last videos for today. My hair's a mess because I just got out of the shower, but it doesn't matter. Bait. Very important. Not lures or fake baits like I showed you before, but natural baits. I got a book here. I'm going to read it to you from here. First I'm going to read you what it says factual, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. For worms, it says, they are a favorite of freshwater fishing bait. The worm will wiggle. Hold it tightly at one end with your thumb and finger. Bring the hook down through one end of the worm until the worm covers the hook. Personal opinion. Worms are not good. Worms are really ineffective. They really don't work much. I mean, I was fishing today and I saw like 3 people out of almost an audience of 40 in 2 hours catch a fish. One of them was actually a good fish, to keep. The others were 2 like little winky-dinky sunfish. But I'm going to give you my true opinion. If you're going to use worms, if you must use worms, make sure you cover the entire hook, because if they see the shininess of the hook or the sharp end, they're not going to go for it. You should actually hook it the way it's showing right in that picture. You see it's going all around there. Just go all around. Next bait is minnows. It also goes under bait fish because they got another bait fish there, but it says it's used used for bait in freshwater, are generally 1 to 3 inches long. Put the hook through the very top of its back, just in front of the dorsal fin. Hooking the fish this way will keep it alive and allow it to swim in the water. That is true about keeping it alive. If you use a dead minnow, I would hook it through the mouth. And then, just hang it up like it would be one of those fish that are hanging down there. Minnows are pretty productive. Usually for freshwater, I use live shiners. What are shiners also known as? Let me just check really quickly. They're also known as an Atlantic thread herring, or a Spanish sardine. Actually, yeah, Spanish sardine. They're pretty small. They're about that big. You can cut them up and put them on the hook. Next is shrimp. Shrimp, either dead or alive, are a great bait for many inshore saltwater fish. Live shrimp should be hooked through the head region, taking care to avoid the dark spots. Shrimp can be fished near or on the bottom, or they are also effective fished mid-water using a float rig. Freshwater grass shrimp can be found in the vegetated edges of ponds and waterways. They can also be collected with a small mesh dip net and are good for bait for sunfish. Like I said, sunfish, you really don't want those. They're really small. They're dinky. You can use those as bait. They're pretty good, shrimp. I'm gonna show you something though. I mean, I don't like the way it's talking about the shrimp though, although I do like the shrimp. One thing I want to clarify, they always are on the bottom. If you see a shrimp floating around somewhere, it's not right, especially for the fish, so I would not put it on a floater. I would usually put it on a weight and just let it sit there if it's live, and if it's dead, just reel it and roll slowly. But I'm going to show you how I hook it to keep it alive. Let's see, get one of these hooks. Okay. What I do, here's a picture of the shrimp. What I do instead of that, let me see, is I take the hook and I go through right there. I go right there and I'll hook it like that. I should do it at another angle. One more time so you can see it. Just hook it right there. So it gets to the head, and then just curve it up and pull. So that will be only the shell. It won't actually hurt the shrimp. It might. You gotta be careful though. If you see stuff start to gush, like black stuff, that means you've hit an organ. It's probably going to die, but you should use it anyways as dead bait. Next is bait fish. There are many types of bait fish anglers can use for saltwater fishing. Care is necessary in collecting and keeping these fish alive for fishing. Bait fish can also be saved and frozen. For live use, insert a circle hook through the nose of the fish, upwards through the top of the mouth, and across the top of the fish. Same thing with the hooks about the minnows. Just go right through the mouth if it's dead. If it's alive, go through the top. And the top, like I said, is just like that. So, you should definitely use bait fish as often as possible. Definitely, when you can, use them live. If they're dead and they're cut up, that works pretty well too. I've caught my biggest fish on cut up, dead frozen baits. What I suggest sometimes to make them thaw out faster is putting them in some hot water, and sometimes it'll also get the guts and stuff, the guts and blood, like, all affected and everything. It's a little disgusting, but it works. You know, you really get a fish out there. These fish are pretty good, bait fish. I'm gonna give you some examples. Ballyhoo, scad, Atlantic menhaden, sardines, anchovies, and some herrings. Little stuff. Ballyhoo, shiners, like I said. You might want to use a bunker, a fatback, shads, and all that stuff. But, that's basically it. I mean, you got that stuff. And last but not least, oh, there's two more. Okay, there's crickets and grasshoppers. I don't usually use these. I've never used them, actually. But I'm going to read it to you anyways. Are good freshwater baits. Hook them through the collar that is just behind the neck. Kind of like that. The hook should be exposed after slipping it under the collar. The insect will remain alive and move around in the water. You gotta find that out yourself. I don't know. Squid are sold frozen, and will have to be cut into pieces for fishing. If they are whole, remove the head and the pen, the clear, hard support structure, which is basically like our spine. Then cut the squid into desired sizes. Squid make very good bait for bottom fishing. That's true. They make very good bait, especially frozen cut up ones. That's basically it. Oh, one more thing about shrimp. Live shrimp, you want to be careful with. You might want to use pliers and lightly pick them up instead of doing it with your hands, because they jump a lot and they got that little pointy thing on their head and it hurts sometimes. So, that's basically it for bait. Thanks, guys. Good luck.